Hello and welcome. I'm Glimo. I'm the Keeper of the Chronicles for this Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign on Roll20, streaming to Twitch and YouTube. Welcome to session 25. Let's try to finish off London on a high note. And we lost Bill's camera. Um, so much for the high note. Hope everyone had a great couple weeks. Carl, can I get you to turn your camera off and on real quick just to get your face in the right place on Twitch? Perfect. Thank
That
you.
was the touchpad. I had it on the from turning the camera back on. I went to move the cursor and click.
Nice. Nice. Hope everyone had a great couple weeks. My US fans, hope you had a good Thanksgiving break. Um, Other than the holiday, I've just been super busy at work and haven't had much time to get into other trouble. How's everybody else doing? Let's go around. Sean, what's going on in your world?
Not much. Just trying to get ready and plan for Christmas. Making sure I get everything done before I can start my vacation.
There you go. There you go. Lauren, what's happening with you?
Just, dealing with the kids at school and getting ready for a 5-day vacation down in the Keys.
Nice. Nice.
Sweet.
When
Gotta-
when are you going?
During Christmas, we're going to be down there for Christmas. We got a hotel that has a full kitchen and a barbecue area. So basically, we will be, hanging out, cooking there, and I'll probably hit the fish markets to grill up some fresh fish and shrimp.
Perfect. I'm there the week before you are. Carl, what's going on with you?
There are two states to Carl: sick or not sick, and currently not sick. Although I've been sick for either I've been sick or my family's been sick for the last 2 weeks. So just
Ugh,
that.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it happens.
Bill, what's going on with you?
Just trying to get past all the snow and just keep on working.
Yeah,
Missed 2 days of work this week because of the snow.
was a rough awakening to get the first storm of the year as a foot.
Yeah, well, and they said the jackpots were going to be outside of 128 and then inside of 128, and it seemed to hit me both times.
Ugh. Ugh.
We got 9 inches to a foot each time,
Wow.
back to back, 2 storms in a row, just boom, boom, boom.
We just got it constant where I'm at. It never
Yeah.
stopped. It never turned to rain. But yeah, the first morning we woke up to about 6, 7 inches, and by the end of the night, we'd had another half a foot probably come in. So
Yep. Yeah, the kids were off from school for 2 days, and I was kind of stuck at home too because of the commute is such a nightmare.
yeah, that's a long ride you have.
About an hour and a half each way.
And it's not even winter yet.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm training the reindeer, but they still won't lift off.
All right. Who remembers what happened last time?
Not me.
Let's
see.
I basically remember we had finished off with going into Henderson, I do believe.
Henson.
Henson, that's it. Henson Industries. Unfortunately, we had to kill the guards, but we did get some more clues and some Our gadgeteer figured out some of the equipment they had, or had a guess at what they had. We were able to safely get back to the retired detective's house. He took a look at what we got. We just don't have enough to get full full police backing. So he's hit us at a safe house, because obviously Gavigan is going to be hunting us down. And we have about 8 or 9 days before the big event, or their big cult action. So the plan is to hit Misr House with what police force we can get coming with us. And I think we had planned to come in by boat again. But we have a number of days to plan and prep. And I had posted some stuff on the Roll20 of some ideas, hoping that some of you guys would at least see it and get some ideas.
Well, before you get too many ideas,
That's what I figured.
let me ruin some of your plans here. So, you arrive at the safe house on Sunday, February 15th. On Tuesday, you receive a telegram from Inspector Craig, and I'm putting this in the Roll20 right now. G claims to have a witness in Derby. Start. Please stay out of sight. Stop. Do not return to London. Stop. Recommend you leave England after this weekend. Stop. B will meet you as planned. Stop. Good hunting. So, you you can pretty well guess that it sounds like Gavigan's trying to fit you guys for a noose. And if he can't find you, then he'll hope that the authorities do.
All right. So it sounds like to me like it looks like from the message that we're still planning to do what we plan to do this weekend, from his comment. From that we will meet you at planned stop, or after this weekend stop.
Yeah, so B would be Barrington. We'll meet you as planned.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So if you want to do any preparations for Saturday's raid on Misr House, let me know. Otherwise, we can skip ahead to your arrival in Clacton-on-Sea and picking up the boat.
So we had to stay. All right. So we had to stay out of sight, but we do have to get up and go once. Has he made a way for us to contact him?
No.
Well, all right. What do we have available to us right here at the safe house?
You've got whatever's on your character sheets.
How's food being provided? Or is there enough food in the safe house?
There's enough food in the safe house.
All right, we still have the car, correct?
Yes. All right, well, that makes things a bit more difficult. Hopefully, they'll bring some stuff. And I wasn't hoping for a whole lot of prep. It was going to be hard to get anything anyway. Anything we would have gotten, anything we would have wanted, he would have had to try to get for us anyway. It's just too bad that I wasn't thinking we would be able to get out, but maybe he could get us some of the stuff.
We have. What is it that we want that we don't have?
Well, I was thinking we could at least maybe prep some things. I mean, we do have someone who's a demolitions expert. A lot of this stuff was going to have to come from the police anyway. But the one thing we could have prepped was maybe having some pre-made bottles with basically a Molotov cocktail style. Because
We don't have that.
I think we can pull that together.
I'll say that especially with Seamus's demolitions background and weird science, that yeah, you'll have no problem putting together Molotov cocktails if you want to do that.
Would it be possible for him to even create a couple, like something that acts like a smoke bomb?
Because that went so well the last time he did it.
Actually, it went pretty well.
Crater, non-crater.
Might I
Yes.
say, not only do I have weird science, but I'm also resourceful. So if need be, I can find that equipment that we just need to have.
Yeah, I was just trying to think. What I really wanted to do was just have the. I was hoping that we the cops or the police might be able to provide us with a few more weapons. I'm not really good with a pistol or a gun, but I figure you guys are a little bit better in that regard in usage.
I got a crowbar if you want it, or a shovel.
Well, I have my cane. And I do carry a pistol. I'm just not very good at it.
That's kind of the same boat that I'm in. I got a cane sword and a revolver.
Yeah.
And I'm not very good with a revolver.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping with, yeah. Even if you suck with a shotgun is still a shotgun. But
sounds like more of a George thing.
Yeah.
So I can NPC Martin until George shows up.
All right.
If you feel like you need some additional covering fire.
Yeah, I'm thinking this, guys. I think a lot of the planning. This is going to be some type of cult thing going on, a ceremony. I don't want to hit them too early, but I don't want to hit them too late. I think we want to hit them when they start doing serious stuff, but before they complete the serious stuff. If you know what I mean.
So one thing that I'm gonna remind you, this is Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
It's not built that if you get into combat with 50 cultists that you'll survive.
Use the mass combat rules.
There aren't any.
No, that's why I wanted to plan ahead of time.
Don't understand. Use the
if
mass
we can-
combat
BRP has some of those, but they weren't ported into this part of the system.
I can look them up right now if you want.
I was thinking if we can. I think we should definitely hit them from two sides. I think maybe the police from one side and us from another. And if we had a couple, like I said, Molotov cocktails to toss in with some that adds smokiness and fire, a few good, placed rounds, and hitting from two sides, that might cause enough confusion, especially if we can knock off one or two of their leaders.
I'm going to ask a stupid question.
Yeah.
What are we trying to do here? Do we need to gather proof of something, or are we just trying to kill as many people as possible?
I think I think it's got to the point where the, I, we can't get any more proof, unfortunately, that's going to bring the authorities in.
All right, so this is just a murder hobo session at this point now.
Yeah.
So, last time we had a big showdown with the big boss, we had somebody that was being NPC'd by Glimo. We could strap a suicide.
George takes one for the team.
Sorry, dude, you weren't here.
Gadgetize the nuclear device.
That's what happened to the last NPC.
Works for Al Qaeda.
Hey, he had officially left the group at the
Yes, he
time
did.
that I had his character run into the cult ritual full steam, because you guys were
I
you
just
wouldn't
have to
you wouldn't even poke your head in to look. I was trying to make the session more interesting, so I thought if I had Alejandro run in there that you'd follow him. I didn't think you were gonna close the door, put Blues Brothers style, put heavy furniture on top of it, and leave the premises.
What?
Sure, why not?
Go out of character to act intelligently?
Well, the only question was it effective?
Got the job done.
For definitions of effective. Missed out on a lot of knowledge that would be helping you right now. But the building burned to the ground.
Yes. Yeah, I think we've done fairly well this time. I mean, it seems to me like we've gotten a lot of what we could get. Yeah. We've gotten lucky, and I think we've done fairly well. Yeah.
Well, it's taken like 6 months, so I guess that's something.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to be starting to read the back of a lot of the back stuff so I can know what we have for future stuff. I figure my character hasn't got to know you guys enough to see all the old stuff. So, yeah, I'm thinking that we just prep, if we can help our gadgeteer make some stuff.
Chain the doors shut, burn the place down.
I think we're going to have to step into this one a little bit more than we would like.
I'm gonna give you a little GM help here. While you can try to be murder hobos,
I prefer not to. But,
one, there will be consequences. Two, don't have to be murder hobos. You are bringing 4 police officers to witness this ritual. If they see what you think they're going to see, then they'll have the ability to affect consequences
okay. So, yeah.
in the future.
I see what you're saying. All right. So, all we had to do is witness it and stay hidden. That's a possibility, too.
I mean, stopping things is good, but I don't know that you're,
Capable.
I'm interested in your ideas. Don't get me wrong.
No.
You surprised me on a session by session basis. So there's, but
I think we should be prepared for the worst case scenario. But in that case, if it sounds like that, if that's what, because we haven't really had a chance to sit down, really see what the 2 detectives want. But I suspect probably gathering the evidence, if the 4 policemen and the detectives see what's going on, maybe what we could do is, that would be cool. Our gadget person, maybe you could make a film camera. That's not a regular camera, like in the old, originally have motion pictures, you had to have this big, huge ass camera. If we could have something that was similar, but what you could gadgetize it so it's much more either compact or compact with a long lens, so that we wouldn't have to be right there. That would be kind of cool. That way we'd have documented proof of the ceremony. Obviously, we wouldn't have sound with it, but still, we take a good camera with us that can do long range shots. That might provide the evidence we need. Plus, the police being witnesses.
If they're planning on summoning something, maybe we could create some kind of diversion that looks like they're actually being very successful.
I get this feeling that they're going to be very successful.
So we just need like a wheelbarrow and apocalypse robes and a giant. We can roll in there.
We all jump up. Was it the 4 kids in the adult costume? No, we decided to get 4 of us standing on top of each other, being a giant fake Cthulhu monster.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? The camera idea? Maybe the gadgeteer can make some type of, motion, long distance, portable motion camera.
So, in pulp rules, that would take you longer to make than you have.
Okay. Well, we can at least get decent long range cameras, possibly, or he could gadgeteer that. That would be a little bit more easy because cameras are already available. It's just getting a decent lens to take long range shots.
I actually have camera on my character
Yeah,
sheet, although I don't have photography.
I was just trying to remember what cameras were available in the
1920s.
in the 20s.
I'm gonna check
But
right now.
even if you would definitely, in order to get good pictures in the middle of the night, someone would have to have arts craft photography, and it's probably a hard roll. So if no one's got that skill, then I wouldn't put the time into.
Well, I guess we just need to prep for the worst case. Have some Molotovs ready and a few other things, and try to just witness everything. And
as long as some of the cops make it out alive, as long as you keep Barrington alive, he'll be able to, if you see what you think you're going to see.
Yeah, it might be better for us to stay as a group then.
Right, and I think one of our main objectives is going to be creating a diversion in one direction so we can actually escape successfully.
Yeah, I agree with him. That would be the point where we want to maybe make a couple devices to, like I said, throwing a couple Molotov cocktails far enough away, or setting them up someplace and then just lighting a fuse, which would be pretty easy. Once they go off, they cause fire and smoke, from their position. That might be enough of a diversion.
Right, draw them away from the boat so that we can get to the boat and get out of there.
And that might be our best bet.
Yes, I don't think smoke bombs would be that difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say that you can make smoke bombs. It went so well for you the last time.
Yeah. Well, I think if you do a Molotov cocktail right, they can be pretty smoky. You mix in some oil with it.
A nice peaty scotch to.
Hold it here.
You're going to say that.
I love scotch. Scotch.
So tasty.
Okay, so other than a handful of Molotovs and a handful of smoke bombs, is there anything else that you are looking to to bring with you that isn't on your character sheets?
We
Well-
did get a good look at the robes. We actually had a few for a while. I wonder if there's some way we can make robes that are similar and blend in.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna take those 2 onks that we picked up because I think didn't you mention
Yes, yeah. The
That-
two security guards each had inverted ankh.
no, yeah, well, now I'm talking about what we got from Gavigan's house. The 2 that you said that they
Oh,
were,
the scepters.
yeah, the scepters. I'm sorry, the scepters. Yeah, but with the onks is a good idea. That way, if someone saw them on us, that we could at least
Just flash them.
Nick-
Hey, we got our Uggs.
Yeah. that might be a wise idea. But I
It's an
definitely
all-access
say
pass.
our job is to keep Barrington alive and the cops.
I think
So-
Alistair should cast a spell.
Well, I'm thinking about taking those 2 scepters because didn't you say that they could possibly protect us from spells?
Let me.
I remember you giving us a description of it.
Yes, and I am just pulling that back up so that I can remind myself and you what you figured out that those do.
Yeah, I don't think I have any good spells
those
for
are
this kind of thing.
Books.
Read the books. That's
Okay.
the doomsday option.
So it is a
Unfor-
pair of scepters. Each scepter is about a foot long. One ends in a crook, while the other ends in an inverted ankh. The shapes appear almost organic, as if the metal was grown rather than forged. Once per day, if held crossed in front of the body, they add 2d10 points to the holder's magic points, so long as the scepters remain crossed. When used, the scepters, if crossed in front of the user, may also be used to absorb 1d10 points of magical damage. That is what the scepters do.
Yeah, I don't have magic missile, so I can't.
Right.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be bad for one of us to be carrying them so in case of spells. If we know a spell is being cast at us, maybe that might be able to use to deflect or lessen the damage on us, or at least one of us.
I've never seen a spell cast in Call of Cthulhu.
Well, if
Well,
the
you've
guy
never
is-
seen one cast by a player. You have actually seen a spell be cast in this adventure path. A couple of times.
Yeah.
Cast at us?
Yes.
Like
I
when
know.
we saw the caster?
Yes. Back in
Not that
Peru.
fog thing.
Back in Peru, Larkin cast a couple spells at Alejandro
I may have missed that, I guess.
in the big showdown that you had with him.
Andy,
Alright.
cover your heart.
Yeah, well, that's not. Yeah, we're gonna make sure we take the 2 scepters then, and the 2 onks. What the weapons did
So-
the
So
guards?
as far as the robes go, so they were pretty ornate hooded robes with white with lots of black inverted ankhs on them. You'd need you probably need more time than you have to make up 10 of those. And you need some sort of skill in sewing, which I don't think any of you have.
Just cut up some potato
You know,
sacks. And
You might be able to
Disguise?
find some bathrobes in town, but they're not gonna really pass
pass
muster. But that
glue a
might be something
couple-
you want to look at when you get to the island.
Well, that's the other thing. We could always conk a couple people on the head and take their robes.
Yeah,
Put
I
a
really.
couple pieces of felt and
Yeah.
I still like the idea of us making robes that are kind of like bad knockoffs of the actual robes. And then like trying to get in and like passing as like, I don't know, head dude.
why do I get the picture of blazing saddles and
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think taking what weapons we have, which would include the two whatever the guards had. Yeah. You know, um, the other thing we could do is make sure that we have stuff that makes it so that it's going to be nighttime. So maybe making sure we have some stuff for darkening our skin, so that it makes it harder for us to be spotted in the shadows and stuff like that. For much like the commandos used to use and stuff like that.
Do any of you have a disguise kit?
No, I don't think I have a disguise kit.
nope.
No.
But who says a little bit of old axle grease?
Hey, George.
Hey, George.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Let me just adjust the cameras here.
I don't think we've ever seen George in a chair.
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you sick, George?
No, what I'm gonna call it? I was playing this game before on my work computer, but it was starting to overheat. So I switched over to another laptop, but it's got a smaller battery, so I'm on the power cord right now.
Mm. Well, good to see you.
Yeah. Are you guys dead yet?
They're still
Prepping.
trying to
Well,
plan tactics.
Yeah, how long have you been playing this game? Like, we don't actually do anything until at least hour 3 or 2. 2? Hour 2, I guess. 2 to
Hey,
3.
Bill and Carl, could I get you guys to shut your cameras off real quick? And then
mean,
Bill and
Honestly,
Carl.
we should just. I feel like if we just go there, like, we'll see what the heck is going on and just kind of react to that.
Yeah, kind of prep what we can and then kind of react. Like you said, there might be some robes that we can pilfer along the way and blend into the crowd, get close enough to be a nuisance.
All right. Well, then we'll just prep what we can. Some, like a handful of smoke bombs, a handful of Molotovs.
Does this sound familiar to you, George? Smoke bombs and Molotovs. Okay, well, so you get
the plan is, George, since you weren't here, is try to get the police officers and Bennett to observe what's going on and get them out, Barrington, and get them out safely, without really doing anything per se to the cultists.
So the one thing that you missed that's kind of important, George, is so while you're at the safe house, you receive a telegram from Inspector Craig telling you that Gavigan claims that someone witnessed your trip to Derby and witnessed the murders, and stay out of sight, and no matter what happens, you should not return to London and should consider leaving the UK after this weekend.
Well, it wasn't really murder. It was totally. We gave him a chance to surrender, but
so All right. Well, skipping ahead then, you arrive at Clacton-on-Sea a little after 5 p.m. on Saturday. Inspector Barrington is there with 3 deputies. They have rented a boat large enough for the 9 of you to make it to Misr House.
All right. I tell Barrett our idea, so we don't want to. Yeah, we want to avoid as much, you know, violence as possible. So our plan is to get you and the officers as close as possible to witness the events, so you can bear witness to what they're doing, and then safely get you out, so that um, the long arm of the law can do its job.
Yes, quite. Okay, so you land on the island a little before 7 p.m. The house is lit up, and you see torches lighting a path from the house into the woods. You hadn't noticed this path before. What is your plan?
Was it we're we're docking some? Where are we docking at? Out in the woods, or someplace where the um,
I was assuming you were docking at your usual spot in the woods.
okay. I think we should go to the
Unless
woods.
you tell me otherwise. You know, if you want to get back on the main dock again, like that one time, that we can do that. But
I don't think so. What do you guys think? We just go along in the woods because they lit up the trail. Yeah, we could.
well, you can't get to the trail from where you dock. You'll have to come circle back around to the house.
All right.
Is there a map for this?
Yeah. Yeah, that might.
I
be
do
useful.
I do not have a map that shows but I'll put us on the Misr House map.
Wait, so is our plan that the police witness what happens and then later on they just arrest these people?
Well, I don't think they're going to be able to arrest him at this place. They're just going to be able to get at him after we get him out.
Bro, they're cultists. You can't break their morale. We have to kill them.
The issue here is it sounds like what they want, what's going to work for us is basically they witness the event without interrupting it, and then we take the officers back so that if Bennett and a couple officers live to
Barrington
and the couple other officers live to give evidence, then they can arrest various people after the fact.
Well, they're gonna. What if they summon some eldritch horror?
Yes.
Like we just
They
have
could.
to kill all
I
of
mean,
them.
we can try to interrupt it. We can see what's going on, but I don't know if we can take on 50 plus.
Bill's got some scepters and onks.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to stop. We just don't have the firepower to do this. And we could take a look at the situation as we get there, but we're already there. Is there a path? Can we go through the woods to? You're saying we're going to have to go around and then go in the woods.
You're not going to be able to get. So it's a 50-acre island.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able. You don't even see the torchlit path until you crawl around back towards from your dock point back to the house.
So we're going to have to go back to the house, and then we're going.
You're already at the house. That's where you're at. You're in front.
Then we're going to go through the woods near the path, but far enough away not to be noticeable, but to be able to follow the light of the path, since they lit torches out. Would that be possible?
Is that what you want to do?
Is there anybody on the path?
Is this list path
You just arrived. You have not spent any time watching. So tell me what you
Well,
what
why don't we
you would
sit
like
and
to do.
watch, see what's going on first?
Is this lit path to or from the house?
It's
That's
from the
not-
house going into the woods.
Oh, that's where it's gonna be. There's gonna be some like altar or something like that, and there's gonna be some eldritch horror there.
I feel like I read about this in a book once.
It's in a bunch of Lovecraft stories.
Yes. Well, shall we try? It's 7:00. When do we know that this ceremony is going to take place?
Do we hear any goats?
You don't know. You just
My
know
glass
that
of
you just know
water
that it
shivering.
happened sometime this night.
All
Is
right.
there anything unnatural happening, like unearthly colors or like rumblings in the ground or
Colors like
Find
no one's
the
ever seen
will.
on Earth. You have not. So the only things that you notice are this path that you've never seen before. You didn't notice this your last couple trips to Misr House, and that the whole house is lit up. Do you hang out and watch from the woods for a little bit, or what are you doing?
I think
I
we.
want to know.
All right. I think we should go right now, skirt along the woods and head towards the trail and keep an eye on what's going on. If we don't see anyone on that path, maybe kind of take the path towards the trail to that area, or at least skirt along it.
Yeah, kind of get as close as we can to recon where it's heading.
Because obviously the ceremony is going to take out in the woods, so we figure more than likely this thing is going to happen later at night, maybe in a couple hours from now, or even at midnight. The more longer we hang out here, the more likely we're going to see people starting to gather, and that's more likely to be spotted when we do decide to move. If we move to head towards where we think the ceremony is going to be, we can at least set ourselves up in positions and maybe be less likely to be spotted heading over there. And what do you think?
Right, that sounds good to me. We need to kind of get as close as we can without reasonably being spotted.
So that's what our plan is we're going to try to, follow the path, but, just, and as we're going along, we're keeping, we're taking our time, kind of keeping an eye, because we're also trying to be kind of stealthy, trying to keep an eye on how much do we see anyone along that path. If we see it's not being really used at this time point, we can be closer and maybe even use the path at times.
Can we take a look and see if we are being observed by something either human or probably not human?
Sure, make a spot hidden roll.
Oh shit.
Let me find my character. Never hurts to be ready. I get my character.
Last time we were here, or 2 times ago when we were here, their guard just came out of nowhere.
So if you are going to try to go through the woods in the dark, off the path, I'm going to need a hard survival roll from everyone, and if any of you fail it, you're going to fall in a pit or...
All right.
Or
so it
There are
sounds like to me
pits?
like we have to take the path then.
or
No one told me there'd be pits.
you're gonna trip over something,
All
or alert the world to your presence. So
right.
you're
We're
you're
gonna-
welcome to do that, but I will need hard survival rolls from everyone.
Then I guess we're going to go skirt the woods to the path and then go out down the path. And we're going to try to.
Gonna go down the path.
Well,
that
you're
you're
saying
fine.
that. Yeah. Well, we're not getting much of a choice. None of us
You
are
have
gonna
many choices, but okay.
I think we need to get some robes and try to blend in with the cultists then. Want to try going in the house and see if we can get some robes?
Ugh.
So
Where
you've
they
got
used to be.
the house. You also have the storage building that you know is there and usually unused.
Who's stealthy in the group that could check the storage? Do we? Let's watch the house for a little bit first and see is there any movement outside the house near the storage unit or around the house?
So as you're watching the house, after a few minutes, a group of people in white robes with black ankhs come out of the house and start walking down the torchlit trail.
Okay. How many are there?
5 of them come out right now, and all begin walking towards the trail.
Keep waiting.
Well, hold on here. No, I got an idea here. Why don't we wait a little bit further down near the trail, but not as easily spottable from the house, and we just wait for a group that has a small group of people, and then we just, knock them out / capture them and use their robes.
I think that might get heard. I don't know how far away the ritual site is and how many people they've got down there, but if there's
Or we
any
just wait till
alarm
everybody
raised,
leaves the house.
we'll be swimming in guards if any alarm gets raised.
I imagine the house is filled with the servants right now too. So do you really want to go in the house?
Yes. Yes.
Because I don't.
I want to do something. I'm gonna go to the little building. What's that building?
Got the little storage outbuilding.
Go to a little building.
Okay.
While everybody's busy deciding which
There's
robes to get.
so there's the door on the building which is locked.
Where's the building?
It's not on this map, but it's behind the house. This map
God
just
damn it.
has all the floors, so it's behind the house by a little bit. It is not directly on the path, so it's kind of like between the boat dock and the building. So it's not directly on the path to that people seem to be taking out of the house. So you think you could probably get this done without being seen.
But I can't
But
get in.
but the door's locked.
Are there windows?
There are windows.
I
Are
will
the
go over
windows
with him
locked?
since I do have some lock picking skills,
Okay.
and I will attempt to pick the lock.
Wait, I look in the window first.
It's pitch black in there.
All right, there's probably nobody in there.
All right.
Are the
find
windows
my
locked?
lock picking.
The windows
All
are
right.
locked.
I will roll.
The window's made out of breakable materials.
Okay, you get the door open.
All right. I will watch. I will shut the door behind us, and I'll keep an eye out while
Okay.
he takes a look around.
So it is a storage facility. You feel like it doesn't get a whole lot of use. It's fairly dusty in here.
But it's filled with Molotov cocktails.
But there are some old chests and sideboards that when you open them, you see a number of white robes, black
Sweet.
inverted ankhs.
Look at that. No sneaking. Are there enough robes for all of us?
There are enough robes for all of you,
Holy crap.
and then some.
Extra robes.
All right.
There's easily 30 robes in here.
All right. Well, we will
Cool.
take.
It is the dead of winter. We should double up.
Is there? Yeah, we're gonna take the 9 robes that we need. Is there anything else in
You
this?
take off the mask and underneath is another mask.
And is there anything else in this place? Checking the,
There's a whole bunch of bed sheets and tablecloths and backup silverware, um, but nothing else that really.
All right. We'll take the 9 robes back over and say, well, we got some robes.
Yay.
And we'll don them on. We'll don them and see if they look appropriate. And then we will, when there is not a group going down that way, we will start heading down the path.
Okay.
Like one of the groups. While we're donning them, I'm keeping an eye to see if another group heads down just to see what they're doing, how they're walking, their pace.
So yeah, after while you're doing all this, you see another group of 6 or 7 come out of the house and start walking down the path. They seem to be walking at a normal pace.
Okay.
Can I hide my shotgun underneath the robe? Like how voluminous is it?
Yeah, it's fairly flowing. You can get that done.
Do we look like Klansmen?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Wear
enough robes, it'll be okay.
So it's more like monks' robes than clans' robes. It's got a big cowl hood as opposed to a pointy hood with the eyes cut out.
More wizardy.
More wizardy, yeah. The hood is part of the robe as opposed to,
Well, we got extra robes. We can make a wizardy hat if we want.
I think we should just stick to what they look like. We don't want anything to draw our attention to ourselves.
We are all alike.
Okay, so what is your plan, guys?
We'll just head down the path, and we probably, as we get as we see what's going. Do you guys want to get in the? I don't think we want to be on the outer edge, or do you want to just be able to go down the path, and as soon as we get to a certain point, slip into the woods again and watch from the ceremony? My concern is we may be asked to be part of the ceremonies, and that might reveal who we are.
That would be awesome.
To me, that wouldn't be awesome.
No, I mean the part about being in the ceremony.
Roll.
That's what I mean. That would not be awesome.
The most awesome thing that's ever happened, actually. Wait, where are the police?
They're with you.
Yeah, they're wearing the robes with us.
Yeah, they're wearing robes with you. It's Barrington and 3 deputies.
I mean, dude, what do you want? I think we proceed until we get close enough to make another decision.
Yeah, once we start seeing how they're set up and stuff, and
yeah, that'll give us an idea. But going to Barrington, I mean, I say we can go up to a point like this. The problem is the only concern is let's see what's up there, but we might not want to be too involved in the ceremony.
Okay.
Well,
can I hold the candle?
Oh, dude, cast the spell.
They're probably going to ritually sacrifice people, right? Like that's the whole thing with people being murdered. Like, if they start to do that, are the cops going to try to intervene or what?
We'll find out.
Well, let's talk to Barrington. Let's talk to Barrington about what is. In case I ask him if they are doing ceremonies that are going to involve people being hurt or possibly being killed. Are you going to, remember, there's going to possibly be up to 50 cultists here. Do you, what's your plan? What do you plan to do? I don't want to, I know we might see some stuff that's pretty bad.
I'm sure we'll be rolling for sanity.
Yeah, but I'm talking, I don't know what his friend has told him to possibly expect. What is his contingent plans based off of what they see? So we have a better idea what's possibly going to happen.
He says, well, if it's something that I can stop, then it's my duty to do so. But depending on where we are and how many there are, it's going to have to be a judgment call at the time.
All right, then we'll leave that judgment up to you. Just let us know.
So if the police intervene, does that mean that we run for it? We don't have to be fast. We just have to be faster than them.
That's right.
Well, I think we should try to help up as much as possible.
As we go down, set some booby traps.
So we will head down the path and we'll see what we start seeing.
Okay.
I'll kind of judge it and let Barrett give Barrett an idea of, once he sees what's going on in the numbers, give him what he'd prefer to do, whether to be on the outskirts or into the woods, or actually be amongst the crowd.
Yeah, let's see the battle mat. Then we'll have a better idea of the tactical situation.
I mean, if it's like a circle, that's going to be rough. If it's, kind of almost like stadium seating, just kind of go towards the rear.
Okay, I have you guys at the bottom of this map. So you are you're coming up the path in the woods. And it eventually opens up after a good amount of walking. It opens up to a clearing that is roughly circular, completely enclosed by trees. Like if there wasn't, you came to this island 3 times, you did not see this path. If the torches weren't lit, especially at night, you wouldn't have seen this path, and the trees are dense enough that you don't think that from the trees you'd be able to see what's going on in here. It definitely looks like there's been some selective planting here to ensure privacy of this circle.
Out of the 11 people, do we see any of the intended victims, or are they all just cultists?
So right now you just see a bunch of other people in white robes. And it looks like, they're starting to get set up a little bit. The ground's been flattened here, and a couple of them have rakes and shovels and are making sure that the area is clear. In the center, there's 2 torches and a large 4-sided obelisk. As you look closer, you notice that there are shackles on each side of the obelisk built into the stone. As you kind of hang out a little bit longer, a few more people arrive and start pulling out some drums and finger cymbals and some flutes and cheap violins, and start tuning up and getting ready to play. So it looks like, if everyone's getting set up, and kind of as you stand there outside the circle, more people are continuing to arrive.
Do the police just have sidearms, or do they have anything heavier?
They just have sidearms.
Yeah. So what you said here is we can't really go into the woods. We wouldn't see anything. So we're basically
you can certainly go into the woods, for now if you want to hide, and that's kind of where I have you on the map.
All right, cool.
But you can only get the faintest idea of what's happening from the woods. You see a lot of torchlight and it bounces a lot of weird shadows. So you kind of came up, saw this, and then I was assuming you pulled back.
Yeah. All right. I
Uh,
go to the rest of them, and with Barrington's and Pulp and the other officers, it might be wise to. I'm thinking that. What do you guys think of this? We stay in this area until they get more involved. When they get a little bit more, involved with the ceremonies, and when they're more looking at what's going on at the front stage or at the ceremony, and then we can move up and kind of see what's going on.
well, if Barrington wants to rescue the prisoners, I think our best bet is to ambush them as they're going down the path. Whoever that they're
Well, we won't know what they are or what's happening to them until they actually get here.
Well, I presume maybe they won't, but probably they're going to be taken from the house, from those holding cells where we were, down the path, and presumably they're not going to be in white robes.
What, look at Barrington. What does he want to do? What's he think of that? Because more than likely, he can see the chains on the thing, and obviously there's going to be some type of at least animal sacrifice, if not worse. What's he think?
He says that he thinks it would be until he knows more of what's going to happen. He thinks that it would be a better idea for them to watch and collect, and be able to collect evidence and give testimony against Barrington, because right now he doesn't have anything that he can arrest them
Right.
for.
Well,
Right, a good lawyer is just going to say it's theater
Yes,
and nothing more.
Yeah, and even if we rescue them ahead of time, they could say, "Well, this is just part of a, what's it called? Like what sororities and fraternities do, rites of passage, that type of stuff." Oh, we weren't going to really hurt them. We were just, part of the ceremony.
It's just
Type
an
thing.
ancient drinking game.
We're Freemasons and we got paddles. And...
So yeah, so I think maybe the idea of just staying on the periphery until they get much more involved, and then we can move up to see better,
Okay.
might be the best bet. That sounds like what Barrett is thinking, at least, or he wants to observe more, and we're going to obviously have to move up more to see more. But I think if we go up there right now, we might be much more noticeable, where if they're much more involved and deep into the ceremony, we may be able to move in without being as noticed.
Okay. So after about another hour, there's now 30 or so plus people in the clearing, and the band, really starts up, and there's a lot of heavy drums, and the cultists are starting to dance around the flames and around the obelisk a little bit. Again, nothing super. I mean, okay, it's weird, but there's nothing illegal about dancing in the woods in the middle of the night.
How far are we from the
Kong shows up.
edge of the crowd? And where is the path in relation to us?
You tell me where you want to be. You've had plenty of time, so you can be wherever you want to be.
I suspect we're just off the path near the circle, so we can, if we need to, we can get back on the path again. But we're just outside the circle, probably either to the left or the right of the path. What do you guys think?
Yeah, probably something like 3 yards.
3
Yeah,
yards.
it's not that big of a clearing. So,
About how far do we have to be in the woods?
So this is kind of the the edge of the trees, and the path comes down like this, I've got you guys back here at the bottom of the map, just kind of out of the way. But okay, actually, there's a little bit more space than this.
Wait. Is the map just white to everybody else?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that's
white
all
to
I've
me.
got.
Okay,
all I
thought
got.
you were drawing something.
Yeah, no, he's not drawing anything.
I'm just drawing a path here. So
No path.
I don't see a path.
I don't see anything.
it's up. It's up above Alistair's head.
Doesn't help. Are you sure you're on the right layer?
Oh crap! Sorry, I drew it on the GM layer. What the
Yeah, we're
hell are you
like
guys
that.
talking about? All right.
I don't see nothing.
Nothing.
Right. Now
Ah,
do you
there
see
it
it?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So
Wait,
we're
it's
gonna.
also in the path.
So
Yeah.
you
We're
can
probably
be
like,
wherever you want to be. This
Ryan.
line here is the tree line,
It's
and then that's the
lit.
path in the middle.
How far is it from here to the cultists? Or the tree line?
It's probably about 75 feet. It's not that far.
Yeah, so we're just probably in this kind of area, enough to see what's going on, but has some cover.
So if you're in the trees, you can't make out a lot. The trees are definitely there to give privacy to the
So
you
where
can
would
see
we
that
need
there's
to be
fire. You're gonna have to be outside the tree line in order to really
right, so
see what's
basically
going
I'm
on.
gonna go into the circle.
Now you can. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Stay towards the back of the grouping. Will look suspicious if people see white robes flittering around in the tree line.
Because it's not so suspicious that there's like 12 people like in white robes like in the woods when they should be
Go to
in
the bathroom.
thing.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna be right back.
Jesse
I
can
get
get
some water.
behind that. As someone who's tried the
Number two.
I'm gonna.
Right, we got to be careful, otherwise they'll get stained.
I mean, I'm gonna like circle around till I find some dude who needs like instrument tuning help or something or whatever odd jobs there might be. Checking the chains, yeah. Get right in the middle of things.
So as you get closer, you also notice that there are a number of Egyptian hieroglyphs on all sides of the obelisk.
What do they say?
That sounds like cultural appropriation to me.
Do you speak Egyptian hieroglyph?
No, but I got archaeology.
It says "walk like an Egyptian."
It's just a bunch of birds, and then there's like a cow thing.
I'll allow archaeology if you can make an archaeology
and cats
roll.
and
Crap.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It says Osiris was here.
So
yeah, I was a former Egyptologist as a grad student.
So you recognize it. You can't read all of it, but you recognize it as a epic poem in praise of the Black Pharaoh,
That's not good.
recounting his great and horrible reign and deeds.
Any horrible deeds that have to do with sacrificing people chained up to a large stone that happens to look like this? Like basically, can I make out by reading this poem what is going to happen? If
You've got a
documents
pretty good idea that that someone's probably gonna die tonight.
Well, yeah, it's probably us. That's not news.
it has something to do with a stick with a spike.
I meant, is there does it describe potentially this particular ceremony?
It does not describe this particular ceremony.
All right. It's just your mighty horribleness.
Yes.
Dandy. All right. I keep milling around amongst other. At this point, I'm just interested in the archaeology of stuff. This is damn fascinating. Are there any other interesting? Is the stone itself like imported into this wood, or is it somehow indigenous to?
No, you definitely get the feeling that that it's not from around here.
Right, because that would
Yeah.
be weird.
I was
It's
trying to Cthulhu Mythos roll to see if I know of anything really creepy.
it's either black marble or onyx, but it's definitely not
All
something
right.
that you would that you would normally expect to find in the woods of England.
By the way, I see a Cthulhu roll was right. Are you having us roll something or?
No, so Jesse was wandering around close to the obelisk, and he noticed that there were hieroglyphics on it. And
Ah.
with his critical archaeology roll, he was able to understand that it is an epic poem recounting the awesome and horrible deeds of the Black Pharaoh.
Okay. I'm gonna be making sure I'm near Barrett just to keep him to keep him protected.
Barrington?
Barrington, I'm sorry, they're Barrington. My fault. I keep on saying.
How big are these torches?
They're pretty big. They're like large tiki torch size. No,
But
easily 7 feet tall.
think I could topple one over if I put my back to it.
Yeah, you probably could
All right, good to know.
if you decide that that becomes a needful thing at some point.
Would they be positioned so I could topple one into the other?
Um,
I'm
I mean they're
assuming the drawings are
tall
not to
enough
scale.
that well, I mean they'd probably bounce off the obelisk, I would
Oh, yeah,
guess,
yeah.
but
All right.
okay. So after another 45 minutes to an hour,
What the?
the dancing starts reaching kind of a more fevered pitch, and then
I
coming
dance.
down the path are two figures in red robes,
It's Tark's girlfriend.
and one of them has two scepters, much like the ones you're hiding under your robe, crossed in front of her.
It's the Egyptian chick.
It is indeed the Egyptian
Tark's
chick.
girlfriend.
Tark's girlfriend.
Is the other one Tark? Did he turn into an NPC?
Well,
That would
you'll
be
just have to
amazing.
find out.
That would be amazing. Anyone see Bad Boys 2?
A long time ago. Isn't that
Like
from
the
like
beginning?
2004?
What's that?
Isn't that from like 2004?
It's from like a billion years ago, but we're all old, I think. I don't know. I'm old, anyways.
So
The beginning when he's like with the clan.
Gavigan and Shafiq come in. They're at the head of this last detachment of people that are coming in. And with them are a number of other people in white robes. Another 20 people come into the clearing. And four of them are in plain black robes, and those four are chained into the manacles on the four sides of the obelisk. And the drumming kind of reaches a fevered pitch at this point, and then the drumming abruptly stops, and Gavigan, holds up his hands and says, My brothers and sisters, we gather here this night, this second new moon of 1925, to honor the Black Pharaoh. And everyone, cheers out at that. He says, "This is the grand rite for February. We'll have the ceremonial induction of new members." And so 4 people are kind of pushed up to the front, and
Are the 4 people who were pushed up in the chains, or are they
no, no, these are 4 people in white robes that are pushed up to the front and pushed to kneel in front of Gavigan and Shafiq. And Gavigan says, "These 4, they are sponsored to become members, to pledge themselves to the Black Pharaoh." And Shafiq kind of hits each one of them on the head lightly with her 2 scepters. And then all of the people kind of ritually form this circle around or several of the members. A good 15 of members form a second circle around these 4 guys, and they each reach into their robes and pull out these hammers with a nasty looking spike on the one side of it. Alistair recognizes these right away from his reading of the rituals of the Black Pharaoh. These are their ceremonial sacrificial hammers. And so each one of the 4 supplicants gets up and begins walking through the circle. And, it kind of does look a little like a fraternity hazing, except that instead of getting paddled on the ass, they're being just
Is
decked.
Gavin doing anything? Is he gonna try to stop this?
No, he's the one that's like, arranging this. And so
I mean, not Gavin. Is Barry the police inspector?
no, Barrington is not so far isn't doing anything. So as these 4, you can't tell if they're men or women, are going through, they're getting just beat the crap out of by these 15 guys with the hammers. One of them falls down, and everyone screams, "Unworthy!" And so that person gets just the crap kicked out of them, and they end up curled up in front of the obelisk, and you see that there's another set of chains there that they get strapped into at the feet of the 4 people in black robes that are chained to the obelisk.
What about the other police officers? Do they look like they're gonna flip out?
They're looking to Barrington for support, but so far everybody's okay.
All right.
And when the 4 or the remaining 3 finally make it back up to Gavigan, Gavigan reaches behind him to this ritual table and hands each one of the 3 of them their own ritual hammer. By this point, like their robes are no longer like pristine white. Like they are just covered in blood and tears. And Gavigan says, "Brothers and sisters, these 3 have proven that they are worthy, and that they are one with the Black Pharaoh." And everyone, screams and yells again, and and the drumming starts up again. Um, then Barrington says, "Now, let us begin our devotions."
You mean Gavigan says?
Sorry,
Gav-
Gavigan. Yes, Gavigan says, "Let us begin our devotions." And they begin chanting in a strange language that you don't understand. And it sounds almost like like a high Latin church service, and except that it doesn't sound. It's definitely not Latin. It sounds like horrible to your ears. And this goes on, and there's call and response. Gavigan says something, and everyone says something back, and then this goes on and on and on uh, for quite some time. It's rhythmically hypnotic in its uh, in its measure, and so you start to lose track of time here while this is happening.
What are the police doing? Are they totally cool that 4 people got murdered?
Well, no one's been murdered yet.
No one's been murdered yet.
Oh wait, I thought that the
No.
murdered the. Oh, all right.
No one's been murdered yet.
Yet.
4 applicants got kind of beat up a little bit.
Yeah,
One of them
At
is
their initiation.
one of them's in really bad shape and chained up to the obelisk, along with 4 other people that are in black robes. But so far, no one's died yet.
Yeah, just only because I don't have access to mortars. I was just thinking, looking there, that's a great shot would have been.
Don't you have like the weird science thing? Can't you take a paperclip and some bubble gum or something and create a mortar?
Well, I do have resourcefulness and weird science. Yeah, suppose I could do MacGyver or something.
You just need duct tape. Duct tape is good for everything.
actually this is where we need a female character with a elastic or rubber girdle, and we make a giant slingshot.
Need bat guano and vinegar.
So let me ask. It's 9:30ish. This is the time we usually take our break. Do we want to break tonight, or do we want to push straight through? I can go either way.
I'm fine.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sure, I may get a drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay. Well, let's take a 5-minute break. For everyone to get drinks and use the facilities, and we'll come back in 5.
Okay.
All right. Folks watching live, enjoy the break music.